Checking to make sure it's working. Test 1, 2.
Test.
You look awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little music in the background.
Can I get on the teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Dirk Knudsen, director of BrainChampions.org, back with Allison Cook, Miss Oregon. And Allison, yesterday we were talking a little bit about the concussions you had, 6th grade, 9th, 10th grade, on up to college, to your last one where you got hit in college right in the head with a volleyball.
Yes.
Shouldn't have given you a concussion, but it did. Kind of the last straw for you. Now, for now, your athletic career's on hold,
right.
And part of that had to do with these injuries you sustained, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're getting ready to go to Miss America, which is awesome, in about 3 days, right? 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, I leave Monday.
Okay. So what I wanted to talk to you about in this segment of our interviews together is what you've done as a 19-year-old girl living down in Southern Oregon to try to reach out to kids, educators, all that. Obviously, we've worked together a little bit in our organization, but let's talk about the things you did the last couple years to sort of spread the message about traumatic brain injury in sports, and how did that go?
Definitely. Well, I started in Southern Oregon. I was a resident of Klamath Falls, and as a student at Oregon Tech, I realized I needed to start my own university. So I made a presentation to the whole athletics department regarding what a concussion is and how we can help our athletes. I got a great response, and they had some ideas for me, and then I decided to partner with our organization, BrainChampions.org, and through there got to make a locker room poster. And in this locker room poster, I dispersed it to all of these different schools within Klamath County, and it just had a couple notes about what a concussion is and how people could get involved. And that was a great way to reach a whole bunch of different people. And then one of the other things I did is I'm a youth basketball referee, and so I would do my best to speak out to any coaches, parents, my other referees, and even the athletes themselves, just really what a concussion is and how we can deal with them.
I know we both feel like they're still really misunderstood because it's kind of the invisible injury, unless somebody has that traumatic one, which some of our members have had, where it physically has changed them, to the point where they've got, motor skill issues, learning issues, all of that. But because it's invisible and people, "Guy, you're 6'1", you're a beautiful young lady. What's your problem?" So we both know it's sort of the invisible disease in that, or injury in that way. When you were able to talk to some younger people about it, how did that come across when you were presenting? Are they, because of your age and your experience, were you able to reach them on a personal level?
Yeah, so pretty much when I talk about concussions, I share my story, and we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but for me, I had a big trouble with side effects, and those side effects have carried through me. This October, November will be 5 years with headaches. They're not quite sure why, and so although someone looks perfect on the outside, it doesn't mean that they are. And so I talk about my struggles. It is tough some days to drive. It's tough some days to be in a movie theater. Now I can't go on roller coasters, and there are things that I cannot do that I used to be able to. And when you tell somebody that, when I'm driving in the car for 5 minutes and I can't sit in the back seat, it kind of hits home a bit more than just, hey, I'm Miss Oregon.
Right.
Everyone has their own issues, and a lot of mine just come from my brain injuries.
Did you find out that once you got the discussion going with people, that some of the kids, maybe some of the young ladies, would open up and say, "Yeah, I've actually had one," or "That's happened to me"? Is it kind of like by talking about it, are we able to get a barrier to drop a little bit to get the discussion rolling?
Yes, I would hope so. I mean, I understand that if I was in a sash and crown, it would be very intimidating, but it's important for them to know that it's okay to talk about their injuries. They don't have to keep it inside. And my biggest fear is that people are afraid to do that, whether it be talking to a coach or a parent. It's very tough to say, "Hey, so-and-so, I don't feel good." And to admit that. So my goal is by talking with them, they will learn that it's okay to share their feelings and move from there.
So like if we had a broken arm, a blown ACL, broken hand, more typical sports injuries, twisted ankle, this kind of stuff, people would be very sympathetic, and we kind of carry those things as a sense of pride, like, look what, I got hurt competing, and so everybody's very sympathetic, and of course we all want to overcome those injuries. The educational stuff you did, with the poster, what all did you put on there? I know we had some information we shared with you, but you incorporated some other things as well.
Yes, the Centers for Disease Control, run by our government, is a great resource for their Heads Up Concussion Awareness program. And so we put a couple of those things on. We also put some statistics about how many people are getting concussions, and then just talked about our two organizations, Brain Champions and Atlantis Pride.
Yeah, we'll talk about Atlantis Pride a little bit. It was an idea that myself, Tracy Yatsko, and then you kind of contributed to in this Greek heroine Atalanta. Sounds like Atlanta, but it's Atalanta. But she in historical legend, she bested the best athletes in the world. And we want to think about women that way because they are breaking new barriers all the time in sports. I mean, for God's sakes, you're 6'1", you're taller than most people that I'm around as athletes. So girls can accomplish almost anything. I mean, there's been an argument that they should play in the NBA, that someday we're going to have an NFL player that's a girl. The playing field may never be level in that way, but in a lot of ways, it seems like the discussion's mostly about men's sports and boys' sports, and we forget there's more girls than boys, right? In sports, probably,
Right.
Statistically there is. So through our research, we found out that girls are suffering just as many,
If not more.
if not more. They're underreported, meaning girls either don't realize what's happening or their coaches aren't trained like a typical guy's coach would be, maybe. So our message, I think, has been to get in front of young ladies, coaches and stuff, and get them to understand they're as big a part of this discussion as anything. And I know in talking with you, that's been an area we really want to focus on. So when your time with Miss America's done, what are some things you think we can do, to get out there and continue to be on point with that message?
Well, my personal goal is to reach as many schools and hospitals and sports programs as I can throughout my year. So regardless of how Miss America shakes out, especially here in the state of Oregon as a representative, I want to be traveling around and talking to people. I want to receive emails and feedback of, hey, how do you get through this? How can you go through this? Because I lived it. I mean, as much as it might look like we're all put together, it's embarrassing to have a brain injury. It's something that is almost it makes
like taboo or something.
It's something like, oh, you can't talk about that. But no, it's really important that we address this issue. And with that, we're going to help a lot of people. Okay,
so we'll make your contact information available here at the website, on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
They can find you on Facebook, and you probably have a Miss America page going, but Allison Cook.
Yes, Allison Cook.
BrainChampions.org, you can find her there. She's got her own page. And as soon as we can, and your schedule allows, and for the foreseeable future, this is going to be something you want to continue to talk about.
Yes.
So coaches, sports programs, particularly youth and high school down in Southern Oregon,
Even across the state.
Around the state.
And even working with the referees, because referees have a lot of power as well. So athletic directors, coaches, teachers, parents, if anyone has an organization that they want someone to talk about this issue, please feel free to contact me.
And you'll be Miss Oregon for another whole year.
Yes, you've got a whole year with me.
Awesome.
So.
And even beyond that. So
Yes.
Allison Cook, thank you very much. Good luck on your big day coming up, and compete, represent the state of Oregon. We're all pulling for you.
Thank you.
All right, Allison Cook, thank you very much.
Thank you.